Harry and Meghan just entered the most frantic race to clean their reputations by any means possible. But they are about to hit a wall when the Queen makes her next move. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. We have realized that Harry's bread and butter is definitely the Invictus game. The games themselves are an awesome initiative, there's no question about it. The problem is the conflict of interest that arises from the connection of Gingerbread with Netflix. Essentially using the veteran empowering initiative to create content that ultimately is gonna land money on his pocket. This is the essence of a conflict of interest. Is he doing it to bring awareness to the games, or is he doing it to buy a flat in New York? You cannot escape that, and that is the exact same reason why their plan of proposing to become working royals, but with a timeshare vacation ownership model, 50% of service and 50% of self-service was frowned upon by Her Majesty the Queen. And that triggered this Cold War between the couple who wanted independence but can't quite grasp this concept, and the British monarch. Well, it turns out that the Queen is about to make a move in real-life chess. It has been revealed that royal dresser Angela Kelly, who has been with the Queen for almost 30 years, is set to release an update to her memoirs, The Other Side of the Coin. This is one new chapter that will address the death of Prince Philip, and such an emotional and delicate topic has been green-lighted by the Queen, so it's gonna happen right before the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. But most importantly is the fact that this single chapter in this book is gonna be released before Harry's memoirs, and we're already bracing for a shockwave between both publications. Now, as some royal commentators point out, we are talking about different ball games here. Angela's book is focused on wardrobes besides the life of the royal family, whereas Harry's book will be his long-anticipated official whining. There is no doubt that Harry's memoirs are gonna sell much more than Angela, so they are not really competing in terms of sales. That would be silly. But this is the exact reason why I'm telling you that the Queen is playing real-life chess. She's never gonna create any kind of direct confrontation with her grandson, like, I don't know, publishing a book to compete in which one is the most read or which one is the most talked about. That will be fighting fire with fire, which in some situations is a very bad idea. But what if instead of creating drama, she just approves Angela making a recollection of the last days of Philip? And you know which other event happened along those days, right? So Angela publishing what happened behind closed doors with Philip is gonna be the perfect catalyst to once more reevaluate the Oprah interview with the benefit of hindsight and being even more aware of how cold-hearted their move was. This was never about sales. This was about sending a message. And the Queen knows the effect that this is going to have in how the public perceives Harry and Meghan. And about that perception, well, just a poll that Express made. It shows that almost everyone wants her to drop the title of Duchess of Sussex. Not to mention the actual county of Sussex that must be really upset by that relationship with a pair of grifter wannabes. And the issue is much more silly than you think, because Neil Sean was on point about Nutmeg's initiative of her podcast, Ours Wives. Paraphrasing Neil, how is it possible that a woman calls herself a feminist when she gave up her career, her religion, her family, and her country to marry a man? He's got a point, it doesn't make any sense. But still, she wants to go ahead with this project, and according to a good source, Meghan plans to introduce topics such as motherhood, parenting, family relations, and fallouts. And yes, you heard me right. Family relations. I would pay good money to see the reaction of whoever she invites to her podcast to talk about family relations. It's pretty much the same like Harry pushing Better Up to partner with Invictus Games. And I quote, "The mind is like a muscle. It needs to be honed, trained, rehabbed, and coached." I mean, I seriously thought that there must be people around to tell him that he cannot say these kind of things when his actions continually signal that he has no idea of what he's saying. And it's even worse when he tries to do this connection with veterans, people that have been wounded, people that have lost limbs and senses, people with PTSD, and let me tell you why. When you say the mind is like a muscle, it needs to be honed, trained, rehabbed, and coached, it sounds like something you would tell people that are already performing good. But most people do not have that luxury, especially veterans that need very specific and very delicate interventions to help them recover, and even so, it can take years. For example, one of Better Ops members that will be participating tweeted about being thrilled or speaking on the importance of belonging, connection, and family ecosystems. And in her bio, you can see that her work is focused in burnout and leadership. Now, I'm not saying that all these topics are not important. They are. But have these people, at the very least, stopped to think that this is not what the participants actually need? It's like offering a computer to people that are struggling to have a stable internet connection. It's a nice gesture, but it's not paying attention to priorities. It's a bit lazy if you think about it. Pretty much like whoever designed that Better Up logo, and I can guarantee that they did not charge anything below 6 figures. But I understand that Harry is trying to make sure that his efforts are perceived like they make sense. Like there's some kind of connection between the Invictus games and Better Up. And that must be the reason why they are doubling down on misinformation. It so happens that Archwell has signed 2 new partnerships with organizations that fight misinformation, with the goal of empowering families and restoring trust in information online. This is just a classic strategy from their PR team. You know that Harry has been championing the dangers of misinformation for some time, and this has a very clear goal. It would be far easier to claim that any attacks that the Harkles receive by the public opinion are either caused or amplified by misinformation. And at the same time, if you are claiming to be pushing to fight misinformation, that is a way to gain some credibility for yourself, as in your source of information is the legit source of information. Which can be dangerous, especially if you took to heart Harry's advice of quitting your job if it doesn't make you happy. It's odd to hear that from a man that hasn't shown anything close to happiness in a while, so if he's willing to drink his own Kool-Aid, then he should quit whatever is making his life like that. I wonder what could it be. But, well, we are bracing for this big surprise that they are gonna give because, well, they had that itch to be the protagonist in those first few days that Meghan is going to grace everyone with her presence. Even if we already know that the Dutch royal family is not gonna receive them upon arrival because, you know, they are not royals anymore. Just plain celebrities like, I don't know, Pete Davidson. Because not even the organizers of the games have mentioned them in their interviews. It's like they don't want to be Markle. We are counting the days to see what happens. If you want to refine your observation skills, all you have to do is download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas and it will always be a pleasure, my body language buddies. Much love and bliss.